to work in international finance or, microloans or, all of these different things that I thought were the way to fix the economy. And I didn't have a background in education, and I didn't really get it until I went to Project Amigo for the first time. And I learned that education is how you empower people to qualify for jobs, to earn their own way in this world. And that's how you create this larger piece, right? You start with education. So I'm really grateful that Rotary gave me the opportunity to be a part of a program like this. So most of you know that the whole reason this program exists, which is a scholarship program, it's an international scholarship program with support from all over the world, primarily the US and Canada. But it began because a Rotarian from California wanted to hike a volcano and got lost. And he wound up here in Cofradía de Suchitlan, which is on the west coast in the state of Colima. And as he was, meandering around this place where he got lost, he asked himself this question, right? And I think Rotarians all over the world have asked themselves this question in various places. We see this a lot. Why are school-age children not in school? And this is, during the day between 8 and 3. So what they found out is that a lot of students are either dropping out of school to take care of younger siblings, or their families can't afford to be enrolled in school in the first place, or they are working to earn money for the family. So in Colima, the state where we're based, it's a very agriculture heavy economy, and cutting sugarcane is one of the primary income streams, right? It's a very predominant form of opportunity for folks. But most parents would rather see their students in school, which costs money, because even though public education is free in Mexico, there are administrative fees, the cost of uniforms, the cost of books, gym, shoes, school supplies, and those things in a lot of agricultural economies are just prohibitively expensive for families. And that's where Rotary came in. So it began as just an informal project where Rotarians were going down annually and bringing Christmas presents, toys, books, clothes, and just sort of doing these distribution activities, right? And 30 years later, it's become a 501c3, and it's a formal scholarship program. And what you'll see as we go through this is that folks are not, we're not just reimbursing students for tuition or for fees. It's a comprehensive scholarship program, which is a super jargony thing, but it's true, and we'll show you how it's comprehensive as we go through this. So for those of you who haven't been, this is Colima down here. It's the fifth smallest state in Mexico, but it's the most rural. So all of the communities that we serve are rural, except in the capital city where we have Casa Amiga. And that is for the university students where they have housing. Tatiana lived there. And it began with donors contributing to different rooms, including Dick and Sally Briggs. That's how far back your club's history goes. They sponsored a room there. And students get to live there while they attend university. So we serve a lot of different areas throughout the state of Colima. And this is in Queseria, which is the migrant camp, one of the communities that we serve. And when we say comprehensive, that means how we're involved and how the students are involved. So these are all the requirements that students have to meet and maintain while they're involved in the program. And this is how we're involved. So for those of you who haven't been, a lot of people on this call have been, service weeks are most comparable to like a church mission trip, right? That's a really similar model. They're a week, and each week has a different theme, and we have different ones throughout the year. So this is an intensive Spanish language class where we get paired. So a lot of folks in Southtown have been on the English language week and the Spanish language week, and you get paired with a university student or high school student, and you're working one-on-one to improve both languages. This is from 2016, and one of the things that we got to do, that's Tatiana right there, and that's me teaching Cuban salsa. We get to spend all this time with students. You get to spend all this time on the Amigo bus, going on field trips, doing activities together, and it's a lot of fun. And this is how you get to know them, and you get to know that they want to learn Korean and they love Korean pop music, and it's just really, really fun. This is from Literacy Week. Some of you might know Ginny. Ginny's from my club. She went in 2003 for the first time, and she actually told me for 7 years that I had to go. And I will be real honest, because you are my fellow Oregonians. I'm not super into kids. I'm not a kid person. So I never really thought, I'm glad my club was investing in education, and I thought that was wonderful. But I'm not an optometrist. I'm not a dentist. And I didn't really think I had anything to offer. Like, why would I go? And 7 years later, I finally did, because I found out about English Language Week. And I'm like, I speak English okay. I can contribute in that way. So I started going on these work weeks. And the first time I went, um, absolutely fell in love. That's when I met Tatiana. And I knew, like, this is why you listen to your fellow Rotarians when they tell you something that you should do. I should have gone 7 years prior, but anyway, here we are. So this was from December, the last time I was there, back when we could travel and life was normal or whatever. And these are folks from New Seasons Market up in Portland. They did a corporate retreat, and this is Fiesta Week, where you get to hand out Christmas presents, which is new clothes, books, shoes, I think a toy, and then you get to spend time with Santa. It's super fun. There's a huge posada, and you get to have a piñata. And a lot of people, this is their favorite of all the work weeks. This is their favorite one that they get to do. So at the end, it culminates in between 200 and 300 students with all of these piñatas, and we have DJs and dancing. And for someone who doesn't like kids, I have never had more fun in my life than when I'm dancing with 200 kids. And some of it's line dancing. I wasn't expecting that, but that is something to be prepared for. And they get to have their picture taken with Santa, which is super cute and a really fun thing for the family to be able to do. We have all sorts of different activities, and you might recognize this person doing, I think this was English Language Week would be my guess. But English language and Spanish language weeks are actually my favorite, because you get to spend the most time with the students. And here's some folks you might recognize from different work weeks. And this is what a lot of them are like, that you get to spend all this time with students, and it's so, so cool. There's Ted. I was hoping Ted would be here today. So he's been involved for a very long time. I got to meet them on Spanish Language Week, I believe. And Amanda, who got to go for the first time, and she just loved it. So this is at the Hacienda, where we spend a lot of time working with students and, doing assignments and having dance classes and all sorts of different lessons. It's very cool. This is from your trip last time. Everyone graciously brought down some duck t-shirts. And then this one I included of Nancy, because a lot of us who go to Project Amigo a lot are always muling stuff down to Mexico. And I was visiting Southtown maybe 3 years ago, and John Brown, I don't know if he's still in your club, he's got that warehouse full of clothes, and he said, does anybody have any nonprofits that they work with, and we want to donate clothes? And I talked to him afterward, and I'm like, well, can guests take clothes, and can I take them abroad? And he was like, oh, I've gone to Project Amigo a million times. So he gives me the keys to his warehouse and says, take whatever you want, right? Because what a consummate Rotarian. And I took more than I could carry in one trip. I had like 4 duffel bags. So then a lot was in my attic. And then Nancy was going, so I called Nancy, and I'm like, how much room do you have in your suitcase? Can I bring you some more things? So they muled that down, which is really nice, because a lot of those were dress shirts and nice things that they were able to take to the migrant camp for people to wear to church on Sunday, and to have something nice and clean and new to wear. So this is outside of the Hacienda. This is the first place you'll go when you arrive. And this is like base camp. This is where we do all of our, I guess, our centralized location before we go out and do all the other different things. This is from Swim Week, where you also get to do turtle release. I haven't done this one yet, but I saw these pictures and I'm like, okay, the minute it's safe to fly again. So this is where they get to release. Everyone can see, well, actually I can only see Glenn and Christine. Can you see the little baby turtles that they're helping into the ocean? So a lot of the kids, even though they live very, very close, or, it's kind of like Eugene to Florence, how close they are to the coast, but a lot of them have never been. So this is a really, really fun activity. And then of course there's zip lining, and that is the volcano behind Walt there. And that is so much fun. And some of the like little kids are too scared to do it. So we'll belt them in at the same time and they'll go with a grown up, and that's a lot of fun. Our graduates, we are super proud of the fact that we have to update the numbers for this last cycle, but at last count, we had more than 77 university graduates, which is so crucial because that's exactly what we were talking about at the beginning, right? This is the most dignified form of philanthropy. This is how people make their own way in the world, and this is how you change economies, right? So this is Mireya Rincon. She, a lot of folks who've been there know her. I'm checking my timer because I can talk about Project Amigo for way too long. So Mireya Rincon was the first female mayor of Cofradia, and she's continued to be involved in county level government politics, and we're really proud of her, and she represents what a lot of our graduates have accomplished. This is Natalie, who is going to be here today. She's now an attorney working for the labor department at state government. She's like Tatiana, she's bilingual and helps out a lot on work weeks when people are there. So the little kids, you can see these younger kids in uniforms, most of them don't speak English. So, and most volunteers don't speak Spanish. So it's really crucial. And this is part of their commitment to the program, is they help mentor the younger kids and they're helping the volunteers be more actively involved. That's Natalie when she graduated. Some COVID updates. We've done 3 food box distributions for all of the scholarship families. There's been some price gouging, which we're not shocked by, but we were disappointed by. So the food boxes include a lot of non-perishable necessities. One of the things I didn't think of was cooking oil. A lot of folks don't have electric stoves, so you need to have oil to light things, and matches, all of those kinds of things, and soap. Very important now with COVID to have this. I mean, we're all clean before, right? But it's become even more important. So now that all learning in Mexico is online, a lot of our staff have had to kind of become de facto teachers. And in our cyber centers, they're doing all their homework online. So they're getting their assignments via WhatsApp and submitting them via email. So they need to have computers and a steady internet connection, and oftentimes someone who can help them navigate what the assignments are. That's in Quesaria. And this is an overview of what was in most of the boxes. So you'll see like detergent and oil and lentils and eggs and all sorts of different things to kind of ease that transition as people are experiencing job loss and reduced hours and increased prices, right? So the other nice thing about this is that it reduced the amount of time people had to spend on public transportation, which is super crowded, if they're trying to go to the bigger city and get better prices. So I just wanted to conclude with this. And again, when you think about what you, and I really love your newsletter. So the list of projects that you guys have that I think always keeps that front and center in people's mind, look at everything that you're doing and how, even though Rotary isn't a UN organization, look how well our goals and activities dovetail with this overarching dream, right? And you know, they say dreams without plans, or goals without plans are just dreams, right? But this is how we're actually drilling down and doing it. So Project Amigo, obviously by helping students access quality education, is reducing poverty, which contributes to good jobs and economic growth, right? But peripherally, you know, for example, reducing hunger during an unexpected pandemic. When you see the number, we're just over 50% female students. So you can see that even though we're not like a girls' education program, you do see that these things are happening. So we're really proud to have our goals dovetail with UN initiatives. And I think your club can be really proud of that. Your club's been involved in Project Amigo for so long, both supporting students and sponsoring students as a club and as individual club members, but also attending work weeks and just loving the program so much. So I'll wrap that up. And the last thing, so there's my email. I can add that in the chat box if anybody wants to be added to our listserv and get updates and everything. But for those of you that aren't aware, we do have a really great partnership. And this is such a simple way to support Project Amigo, especially when we can't fly and go on work weeks, which is normally what I would encourage people to do. Buy, grow, brand bananas. They're about 30 cents more a pound, but they provide university scholarships. So the university scholarships at the primary school, it's $100 a year. For junior high and high school, it goes up to $600. At the university level, it goes up to $4,000, which is a significant jump. So for them to invest in our university students is huge. So that's always a quick thing for me, is just to grab the bananas. Okay, so that is completed. And let's see. So I would like to show you a quick video of Tatiana when she was in high school. So Tatiana, I'll let you translate what you're saying. So this was, it's all in Spanish, but of course Tatiana is bilingual now. So let's go ahead and see the video. So Tatiana, if you can be translating for them. How do I, there we go. Okay, thanks for your patience, friends, as we navigate this.
Mis metas que tengo a futuro es estudiar arquitectura. Actualmente estoy estudiando en el bachillerato de...
Go ahead and tell them what you were saying there. Tatiana, can you go ahead and translate?
She may be muted.
Okay. My internet is, my connection is a little bad. Yeah.
Okay, so here she's talking about that she wants to go to the University of Colima and study architecture. And at this time she was in high school and taking technical drawing and physics and math.
De Villa de Álvarez, y estoy en un área referente a arquitectura. Mi área es físico, matemático, técnico en dibujo. Y saliendo, quiero irme a la Universidad de Colima, a Coquimatlán. Quiero hacer toda mi carrera, recibirme para ayudar a mi familia, para salir adelante, ayudar a Proyecto Amigo, que me está ayudando ahora.
Okay, so with that, we'll just let Tatiana go ahead and share her experience of what it's like being in the program. And it is, I sometimes can do this without getting choked up. So what I love about that video is, here's this high school student saying, I want to go to the University of Colima and I want to be an architect. And then I get to introduce her and say, I'd like to introduce a University of Colima graduate who is now working as an architect. So Tatiana Salvador Lopez. So one thing that you can tell them, I'm very proud of Tatiana. So she spent, I think 5 weeks, was it 5 weeks? Traveling around the US with one of our board members, doing lots of fun stuff, but also doing presentations. So this is your bilingual international ambassador. So, maybe tell them a little bit about your trip around the US.
First, hi, my name is Tatiana. I'm 24 years and I live in Cofradía de Suchitlán. Okay, about my experience in Project Amigo, or?
Sure.
When I talk about Project Amigo, I feel so happy because it's like my second home. In this program, I've met a lot of friends. All my special sponsor is his name is Lucas, and wow, I learned a lot of things about the helping other people and enjoy the little things that I have, and I learned to enjoy all the things that I have in my little town, and and now I'm an architect. I graduated the last year, and here in my town I diseñé o he diseñado.
Designer, before you.
2 houses by families here in Cofradia, and it's a good emoción, es una como un sentimiento agradable.
Good feeling.
Yeah, it's a good feeling when finish my work and lo entrego a mis clientes.
I can
To
check
deliver
the
that to your
box.
clients, to be able to provide that for them.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about so Tatiana loves traveling. Tell us a little bit about your trip around the US.
Okay. My first trip was when I was 18 years, probably. Mm-hmm. Seattle, Washington, and was for 2 weeks. And my second trip was with my sponsor, Lucas, Boise, Idaho, for 2 weeks. And oh no, for 3 days, only 3 days. And my recently trip was in Utah, in Utah with my friends, Nicole and her husband, Jed, and oh my gosh, was amazing, was incredible. It's wow, it was very fabulous. I was in Los Angeles, in Las Vegas, and Indiana, and
Chicago.
oh, Chicago,
Mhm.
and oh,
Florida. You went to
excellent.
Florida too, right?
Yeah, it was my gift for my graduating.
Mhm.
And I thought that when cuando estuviera,
When she was here or when you were there?
when I was there.
Yeah, when you were in the US?
Uh-huh. Uh, I thought, oh my gosh, all the time I need to practice my English. But no, because Nicole speak Spanish, and was a mixed language. And uh when I needed to speak in English, so ansiosa.
You got nervous.
Yeah, I get nervous. Why? I don't know why, but
We all
oh
do.
my god. Yeah, but was a good experience. And these friends I met in Project Amigo, and I got my visa for 10 years.
Thank
So
goodness.
yeah, it's wow for me. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing. And I think, I just want to thank this club so much because this club understands the long-term commitment and the long-term investment in students, and that this is the result. Like, this is how you make that happen. And a special thank you to Kathy. I don't have any pictures of Kathy, but Kathy is sponsoring at the university level. And when I found out about that, I wanted to start doing more recognition for that. So we started the Dean's List, which seems like a natural name, to
¿Puedo
acknowledge
agregar,
that
¿puedo
contribution.
agregar una poquito, algo más?
Por favor.
Sí. Okay. I'm talking about just a little about my sponsor. My sponsor is what it's very important for me because they are like nuestra otra familia or other family, because in many occasions in our family we can talk about our dreams with our parents or with brothers and sisters, and all the time that I feel so bad with my feelings in school or whatever other thing, I'm write a letter from my sponsor and please give me advice. I feel so bad and I need, yeah, you know. And my sponsor all the time answer me, okay, Tatiana, it's okay. And I good, he always was a advice for me and a correct word. And I think Lucas is like my other father. Yeah, I think tuve mejor comunicación. I have better communication with my sponsor from other country, from other language, that my own parents, you know. And I really, really appreciate this. And all the people to enjoy Project Amigo or help Project Amigo. It's very, I'm say all the time, thank you very much for help Project Amigo and for helping people like me. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for sharing your story with us. That's how we learn more. Does anyone have any questions for Tatiana or about the program?
It was great to have
We have
Tatiana
time
here.
for a couple questions. Yes.
I have a question, Tatiana. Now that you've graduated, do you still go back to Casa Amiga and work as or sometimes volunteer as a mentor with some of the other students that are studying architecture like you, and help them with questions? Do you ever?
Sure. I share my contact from my cell phone, and I tell them, when you have a question or whatever, you feel so free and contact me. And if I can help you, of course I do.
I hope when you go back that you can be sure to tell Selene, the student that our club sponsors, that we all say hello and how proud we are of her and how well that she's doing in school. She writes wonderful letters to the club, and we try to publish those in the newsletter, and quite a few of the club members have been able to meet her. And I think it really makes Project Amigo a lot more real when we have a connection to a student there.
Yeah, sure, thank you.
Okay, and I think Debbie had her hand up. We have time for one more question. Debbie?
Hey, Heather, I'm the district interact chair, and what we're looking at right now are service projects. And we know that because of COVID world, we're trying to do a service project in the United States. But in a non-COVID world, is Project Amigo open to our teenagers as a service project going down there?
Oh yeah, we have just right before COVID, there was a group of high schoolers and interactors, and that's a lot of fun for the students, right? To be around kids their own age, and they have tons of fun, build all these great friendships, all these great relationships. So absolutely.
Okay, great, thank you.
You have my email. I'll put it in the chat box so everybody has it.
Great, thank you.
Kathy, did you have something?
Well, I just wanted to say that it's been just a real pleasure working with Project Amigo. They're well organized, and it was a delightful week that we spent down there. It took me way too long to get down there too, Heather. It was like I'd planned on it for years, but I'm sponsoring 2 students from high school at the high school level now, and I get letters from them every week. And it's just really fun. They're keeping me updated on what their life is like now with COVID, and they're staying up with their work, and it's really encouraging.
Thank you.
Great. That was an awesome program. So let's all give some applause to both Heather and Tatiana for coming to us and giving us their insights as far as Project Amigo. I